Hi, today is a special day for me. It's May 14th, 2021. It is Friday. And here the poplars are just in bloom. Their leaves are in bloom. And I just thought it was an amazing sight to see. And I was thinking about the other cool thing about today, and that was the information I have that they found these wave particles in the stars that cause kind of like a waving, and they think it might be pulsar, coming from a pulsar activation, which might have something to do with particle fluctuation, which might have something to do with reconstructing material into plasma. I don't know, but we are probably plasma originators. Probably we're caught in a 3D dimensional warp. I think that being that it is definitely duality driven from the neutron star shelling, which means we are, I think, 30 trillion cells. I had it wrong. I said 70 trillion cells, but I just had a doctor confirm it was 30. Whether it's 30 or trillion cells, or not ganglia, what are they called? These synapses, and something like 7 trillion cells, and something like 30 trillion synapses. I think that whatever that figure is, and it probably keeps propounding, although they say the brain cells don't increase, although the ganglial cells of Einstein were the causal for his extreme intelligence, because he had very fast synapses due to the axons of the glial cells. And these axons of the glial cells, the white matter in the brain, apparently is what is very important for the speed of transmission of the electron. So the faster your brain can work, the smarter you are. And I don't know about storage, if that has anything to do with memory or RAM or whatever, but you think people with fast brains, where do they store all that? Because it's storage and retrieval. But maybe we just can't retrieve, most people, because we don't have enough glial cells. So find the food which will give us more glial cells, and maybe we'll figure out, the problem, humanity's real issues, with war and suffering, broken dreams, life and death issues, pain, suffering, whatever. We need to get to the bottom of it fast, and consciousness studies is showing this. Like these new neurology studies are definitely showing signs of this. I'll post below the fascinating YouTube I watched yesterday about this, and hopefully you'll begin to comprehend the amazing antimatter that we are. Plasma might be antimatter, and we are pulsing to maybe return to that. And there were 3 articles in a row regarding this auspicious and still confusing energy that's in the center of stars. And probably there's just one star, and then everything looks like there's a whole bunch of stars, but it's probably one plasma energy, which I call the original protoplasm. But in a duality, it comes through in a neo-protoplasmic way, in a blue star energy. And the blue star apparently is eternal versus infinite of the duality. Like you can have duality, like stars can last a long time, neutron stars, they can last for billions, trillions of years. That's almost infinity, beyond, or probably any way to capture properly through us understanding it, the astronomical numbers of the infinite. But the infinite ends, and then there is the eternal, which is a completely different kettle of fish, if you so to speak, But there's all this, so just figure it out. It's very interesting to get to the bottom of what is really on top of the information today coming through. It's just one after another new scientific discoveries, thanks to solar ionics, who was an impetus and perhaps a secret, quiet member of the influencer society, of which I am not being paid. So if you want to give me money for all these new concepts and ideas that I have invented, especially the fight, flight, or freeze. I invented the freeze. I was not given that ownership, however, I don't think anyone else is talking about the idea of fight, flight, or freeze response. The freeze response would be when the body shuts down due to shock, trauma, and you have to reboot the brain through entrainment tapes. This goes for any trauma, whether it be psychological, physical, mental, spiritual, whatever. It's got to be rebooted. So anyway, yesterday I said I was very sick. The sun was way too bright, the particles were way too many, and whatever was happening, it was just, I was feeling like I was having something in my gut or something, almost like a swelling of my core nerve, vagus nerve or something, and it was like totally making me feel faint. I felt like that, like I had this stomach problem, and it went all the way up to the back of my head. Then I had the back of my head hurting. Now it's a little better today, but I was so dizzy. I thought yesterday on this trail I was going to die. I am not kidding you. It was scary. So be careful out in the sun. I'm going to try to find some hats that have the UV protection, but even still, these particles are so penetrating that I wonder if this is what COVID is about, because COVID doesn't make any sense. Okay, like they didn't follow protocol for a level 4 virus, in my opinion. Why not? You know, you have to question action, and when there's one thing, it's an accident, two things coincidence, three times it's a pattern, and that was by Sir Fleming, Ian Fleming, who wrote the 007 books. Okay, so this guy was a spy. He knew what he was talking about. Smart man. Very smart man. Anyway, I hope everything is well with you. And I'm going to have to say bye-sies. So have a good Friday and stay centered. Stay true to you. Bye-sies!